like a Charvarius Ward. I mean, these guys have come in and helped us so much, and that's important because you don't. A lot of teams they miss on draft picks. So to have a guy get good draft picks, bring good undrafted free agents, because sometimes those players are considered gambles, it works out. So that's what I'm happy to see.
Yeah, it's coaching. I mean, it's all about continuity and coaching. And you can bring, a lot of guys say, well, this player sucks. He should have never been drafted. That's not true at all. I mean, players fit in systems differently in every system, but there's something that somebody had seen in that player to get him to that point. And it could be pure heart. It could be athleticism. It could be one single little thing that drew them to that particular player. And does everybody in the league right now deserve to be in the league? If they didn't, they wouldn't be in the league. I'll put it that way. Is there, there's talent in everybody that's out there. It's all in how they utilize that talent, how their talent is utilized, and how they humble themselves. And that's what I like about Justin Herbert. I have to say that. He is a very humble guy. And he's been humble since he's gotten the league. I will give him that. At least he portrays himself as being humble. I saw a post where he had said something about Mahomes after we beat them. I don't know if that was fake or if that was actually him saying.
I'm pretty sure that was fake. I know what you're talking about. That I'm pretty sure that was fake.
Yeah, it may have been. But he doesn't seem like the type of guy that would. Mahomes, yeah, he celebrated. He was happy. He was tired of all the chatter about him, So you got to give it to him. He didn't cuss out any bench when he was losing.
That's true.
He didn't throw an iPad. He didn't throw a tablet, So, and the sad part about that whole situation is there are so many kids that actually look up to what Brady has done over the years, but then they see something like that out of a 44-year-old man. And that, you got dads out there going, well, that's just because he's competitive, son. That's not what you're supposed to do, regardless if you're competitive or not. You may get mad, you may get upset, slam your helmet down, whatever, but you still have to be professional. You don't cuss out the sidelines. You don't throw helmets. Or throw tablets. You don't do those kinds of things. And he put out a statement. I got a warning from the NFL about throwing the tablet.
Only Brady, and I'm not really going to get into it, but all I'm going to say is you got to be special just to get a warning when we see other people get trade fines. But that's all I'm going to say there from that point.
Yeah. We watched it so many times that it's insane now, but that's just, it's specialized treatment, no matter how you look at it. And I can't believe that Goodell, out of all people, was not smart enough to at least fine him and make it public, because it really showed a lot of people, and a lot of people lost. It was all over Twitter. People lost respect for him for it. All the people that jocked him for all that time, they lost respect for him just at that moment during that game. Some people tried to say it was him being competitive. Well, there's a lot of competitive people out there in the world, but they don't do that. And if you know the rules and you're a 44-year-old man that wants to play this game until you're 50, you better act like one. It's that simple. Apparently he doesn't have to, but, and that's very obvious, but it kind of, hey, off subject. So there was a tweet going around, very comical. Oh, we got to bring it up.
All right.
Caleb shaking his head no.
All I'm saying is be smart when on social media. That's all I'm going to say. Don't be dumb.
Let me put it this way. I'll just leave it at this. If you're going to DM someone and you're going to say something, like loser has to wear the other loser's underwear for a week, and it has to be private, and you say that to an opposing team's fan, how did you think that was going to work out for you? Did you really believe, well, number one, did you really believe the Raiders were going to win that game? But then number two, did you really think that wasn't going to be put out publicly?
No, all I would say to that, man, is you need to watch what you put on social media because people will come after you.
Check mark.
And that's what we're seeing right now. And unfortunately, hopefully it works out for that guy over there, but he's going through it right now. Because if you go to his page, he's hiding a lot of comments, blocking a lot of people, and I'm telling you right now, it's not.
And that's the guy that never blocked anybody. He took it and he rode with it and he tried to make fools out of people. And right now he is.
Yeah, I tell people, I say this, like, look, I understand, and I tell people all the time, like, look, watch what you do. I understand accidents are going to happen, but you need to be smart because it's on there forever. It's on there forever.
That was funny. You know, he put himself in a doghouse one time before when he said something negative about Andy Reid and his son. And
he did, yeah.
That was bad enough. And he rode with that. He never took it down. He rode with it. It cost him. But this one here, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say either. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know what to say because I was kind of surprised when I saw that and I called you up. I was like, dude, what in the world? But
well, you know, here's another thing. And I talked to you off air, and I've actually said it on public Twitter, so it doesn't really matter if I say it on the show. Look, he stole Vanilla Ice's face, and he put a Raiders hat and jersey on it, and he made a profile pic out of it. Okay, I know it's Vanilla Ice. I looked at a picture of Vanilla Ice when he was younger, that he was standing in that same pose. I've seen Cody Raider, whatever you want to call him. Okay, he's definitely doesn't have a chiseled jawline. I put a picture up on Twitter for everybody to see what he actually looks like, and he doesn't look like that. So
I think he's realizing the error of his ways. So
yeah.
I think go ahead. Yeah, it's very odd. I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of laughing too, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" But it's interesting. But real quick, JB, what are your thoughts coming to this next game? This game.
Oh God, good times. What'd you ask me, man? I was still
You're good.
About the Vanilla
What are your
Ice
thoughts
thing.
coming to this game? What do you think the Chiefs need to do to win?
Well, I think they need to do the exact same thing they've been doing. I think they need to be dominant on defense. They need to make sure that their cornerbacks are looking for the long ball because Burrow's going to try it. I don't know how strong their running game is. I haven't watched enough film on them to see how strong their running game has been. But they will have to watch out for that because.
Well, they have a good running back. They have a really good running back.
Yeah. What's his name? Joe Mixon. So I don't know how well he's done. I guess I'll put it that way. I don't know what his numbers are. I haven't looked. I should have been, but it's been a busy week. I know that they're going to have to just do exactly what they've been doing. They just have to be very alert, and the defense has to continue just to be dominant. And again, you know, Mahomes and company, they're bringing Kelsey back. Thank God. Hill will be back. Thank God. Everybody so far is going to be back. So if it was me, which it's not, and I'm not the coach, but if I looked back at last week and I seen the progression that Byron Pringle, McCole Hardman had in that game, I would definitely be mixing things up with those two guys in there.
Okay.
Because they're going to be looking, you know, because Hill and Kelsey both have gotten over 1,000 yards again this season. And Kelsey broke another record, which is not surprising with his terrible season that he's had, and he's slowed down so much and he's lost a step. You know, terrible guy. But and then playing hurt for 6 weeks. he sucks. But anyway, just joking, guys. I think they're going to be looking for the Tyreek Kelsey connections. So they better, I think what they should do is mix it up with Josh, mix it up with Pringle, mix it up with Hardman. You got Darrell Williams, another undrafted guy that is shown out every time he gets on the field. And this is the game that you want to kind of throw in those extra plays that everybody, we as ourselves has said, we play a vanilla offense a lot. This is the time where you kind of step it up a little bit.
Now, Mike, I have a question for you, JP. Do you think the Chiefs are playing vanilla offense? Because I think they're playing pretty good from the most
Not
part.
now. Not now.
I think they kind of stopped that vanilla offense form. I think they're changing it up, and maybe the vanilla offense is working, but they don't seem to be doing the same game plan. It seems to be a lot more better.
They have after about, well, I'll just put it this way: when Andy started calling the plays again, he went into another page on his playbook. And
finally, he went to page 4.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's to page 3 or 4, and you can tell that the formations are different. The play calls are different. The routes are different. Everything about it's different, and a lot of that is attributed to the great offensive line that we have, but it also is attributed to the fact that he's tired of, like last year, almost every one of our games we won by 7 points.
Like we were winning them barely, and people were going after us saying, "Well,
Yeah.
what do you mean? What do you mean?"
Yeah,
I'm
we
like,
barely won it. We barely won.
We barely won. A win's a win.
Bowl.
At the end of the day, this is NFL. Win's a win. If the Chiefs win the Super Bowl by 1 point, a win's a win.
Exactly. So, I think it's got with Andy, which it's really hard to get into his head, and bother him. I think it kind of did, and I know it's gotten with Mahomes a little bit. In fact, we saw it with the Steelers where he went, they were going to kick a field goal and he said, "No, let's go for it. Let's go for it." And they went for it and they got it.
They have a lot of plays. They have a lot of plays.
They have a ton of plays.
I have a feeling that QB sneak with Blake Bell is going to come again in the playoffs or in another form with him.
Exactly.
I would not be surprised.
He's a former quarterback at one time. He played
quarterback for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Blake Bell. Yeah, he was a quarterback at one time in Oklahoma.
Yeah. And then Kelsey, of course, he played some quarterback, and
I would not be surprised if we see him do another QB sneak when it comes to the playoffs in a different staff form or in a different form.
I agree with you. And I think that, Andy has stepped it up to a level that nobody has seen before.
Oh, for sure.
And that's all Andy. By the way, anybody that listens to this show, I'm going to tell you now that is Andy. There's no one else. Andy, well, let me put it this way. That's Andy and Mahomes putting that together. There's no one else involved in making that happen besides those two guys right now. Did they, at the beginning of the season, did they look a little flat? Yeah, they did. There was some reasoning behind that. We've already talked about it. But that flat tire is shredded, and it's not going to get aired back up. It can't hold air. So now it's time to, and I know Andy's thought this, it's time to just show everybody and make statements out of everybody we play. And that's what he's done. When you're beating people by 28, 30 points, and you've done that in consecutive weeks, we're making a statement. This is not, let's just win by the skin of our teeth type of thing.
That's true.
So, even with the Cowboys that we didn't, because they were missing one player, that was the reason why we beat them.
Oh, and I got a friend, he used to live in Kansas City and now he lives in Colorado, but he's a Cowboys fan. I texted him and he was like, "Man," and he was saying, "Man, we got all these stars out." And I'm like,
all these starters, they had 2 starters
like,
out.
When? Where? I mean, like, really? I mean, it's not our fault your team is hurt. It's any given Sunday. You guys had chances to score, but our defense held you down. If you had one of the best offenses in the league.
Yeah, that was the number 1 offense in the league. At the time, that was the number 1 offense in the league. They were ranked number 1. And we held them to 9 points. Period. End of story. 9 points. So, and that was when we were in our comeback mode of being who we are now. the 36 points per game Chiefs like we were before. So 33 to 36 points.